What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another video. Liam and I just wrapped up watching the Aussie Grand Prix. It's early, it's late, however you want to look at it. We're tired, but we still have a video coming out for you guys. Please like and subscribe. Last couple of videos, we've had around 20 to 25 likes. Let's go for 50 this time, all right? You guys do your part, we're doing our part. Let's go, let's get it. Here we go.
What's up, guys? We're just finishing the Australian Grand Prix. Coming to you live 3:30 in the morning on Saturday. It's been a long night, but
Let's make it a quick one.
well, yeah, we'll make this a quick one. Yeah. So yeah, Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, winner by 20 seconds on Sergio Perez.
Yeah, not surprising.
I can't like that. Okay, the Ferrari car. All right, what the FIA when they came out with this new car design. Ferrari is like the spitting image of what they were like describing as what this car should be able to do.
100%.
And no other car is in that league.
No.
They're in a league of their own.
They really are. And yeah, like you said, like they're setting the standard for what these cars should look like and how they should drive.
Yeah.
In every aspect, in the straights, in the turns, in like DRS and overtaking, whatever it is.
Yeah. The tire degradation too.
They're just up there.
The car is so balanced.
Yeah.
You never hear, I haven't heard Charles complain about his car once this entire year.
There was a lot of porpoising. I did notice more in this race.
Like we were saying, on our qualifying yesterday, I think the more fuel on board, we see the porpoising. Because Mercedes was porpoising, Ferrari was, like Leclerc was really porpoising, even on the main straight going into turn one, and McLaren too. The
one car I'm not seeing porpoising is the Red Bull.
They don't porpoise.
And I think that's just, again, another ode to their aero package and just how good they are with that.
Yeah, I agree.
They're lacking the pace, and clearly now they're lacking the resources to finish races.
They're lacking the finishing of races, which is. So I mean, they didn't have one problem last year with their engine. They didn't have one problem even in the last since they raced for Renault with Renault engines. That was the last time they really had any engine problems.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with Red Bull powertrains. It looked like maybe a hydraulic. There might have been hydraulic fluid or something. Max's car was actually on fire.
Yeah, it did.
So,
which we saw with Gasly too in Bahrain.
In Bahrain,
right?
Yeah. I don't know, man. They got to figure it out. But Red Bull, they're so lucky that they have a second driver in Sergio Perez. Yeah. Because with the unreliability of that car, if they had, imagine they still had Gasly or Albon, guys that they could finish in the top 5, but maybe like majority of the races they were finishing P7, P6. Right, you have Perez where you're like, we know that this guy is going to be able to produce results, and we can rely on him when our number one driver's out.
Yeah, I'm really glad you touched on that because, like Perez has had, it's not that he's had an unsuccessful career in F1. He's highly respected. He's a great driver, consistent driver, but he hasn't gotten the accolades like he should. I mean, he hasn't been in a car well enough to get podiums up until now, basically with the Red Bull consistently. And you hit it right on the head. He has been like kind of MVP this year.
He's been the rock
far
for Red Bull.
Yeah. And obviously with him helping out Max last year and having Red Bull kind of be close to constructors, like him getting as many points as he did, like it showed he's a good driver and he's like really consistent. But this season in particular, if he wasn't there,
oh no, Red Bull
would have they've had already a lost season, I think, or they've had like a clearly down season compared to last year. But Sergio Perez being there and just being able to battle, being able to just be a good driver, consistent driver, and score points to them. Huge. Yeah, I think it's just it's nice for him too because he knows that he has a team that's relying on him. So it's like it puts weight on his shoulders, but you can just tell it allows him to drive with confidence, and he can handle it.
Because he's a seasoned vet, like we know. And like I was saying, if they had a younger guy on that, you don't know if like, okay, Sergio, you're the only car that's left in the race. You're fighting for a winning position. Go, don't make any mistakes, and he can wear that weight on his shoulders, no problem. And I think that Red Bull they're lucky to have Sergio because they wouldn't be getting the results that they're getting right now, and just fighting on by like a thread in the drivers' championship and the constructors. But yeah, tough for Max, obviously. I don't know what's happening with the Red Bull powertrains, but clearly since Honda's pulled out, there's been issues because we haven't seen any issues with that engine for the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, and with them trying to be their own powertrain unit supplier, they are getting some input from Honda still. They have some guys stay on board with them and join the Red Bull team.
Yeah.
But still, you're not going to have that finesse that they had last year.
No.
I'm sure like the cars are being built now probably in UK somewhere, maybe like under the Red Bull
Milton Keynes
supervision. Last year, it was in years previous, it was in Japan. They handle things differently. Their manufacturing is differently there. Just like the mindset too from like the workers and like the people, the culture. It's a culture aspect as well.
Yes.
You know, like Japanese automotive is like a crazy thing on its own.
Yeah, and Honda's had such a good past history in Formula One.
Yeah, and Red Bull's just starting out.
Yeah.
Like not the team clearly, but
The
them
power
as a supplier.
Yes.
It's your very first year.
It is, yeah. And I mean, you're still battling. They're still battling for wins, race wins.
Yeah.
Which is good. And I mean, that's probably like building, like it's, for them, it's like confidence. Like, okay, we can compete. It's reassuring them that they're doing a good enough job and they're kind of matching what Honda did. But I mean, 3 races in, you have 3 DNFs?
Mm-hmm. And they're always going to be there too. Like if their power supply train is not there, if their power's not there, the engine's not there, they'll be there for aero. They'll be there for their chassis. They'll be there for whatever else, you know.
And the skills of their drivers too.
And the drivers as well. Yeah, they have a great lineup. They
do.
I mean, other than Leclerc and Sainz, you can't really name a better lineup right now.
No.
Because we still haven't seen, you know, George Russell like prove himself yet. Clearly this race he finished P3.
He did, yeah. And George Russell's second in driver's points right now, 33 behind Charles.
I know, just because he's been there, right?
Yeah, Mercedes is just getting by. They're just getting by. They're skating in there.
I think with my Mercedes vision for this year, they're just going to be in the weeds. Remember we talked about Bottas last race
being like in the grass,
being like 3 spots behind somebody, but just kind of waiting for his moment to jump.
Yeah,
in,
I think so too.
I think Mercedes is going to kind of hold their own. They're going to do what they can do. They're going to be consistent still. They're going to have their improvements in R&D and back at the factory and everything.
Yep.
But what's the one thing Mercedes has always had that no other team has?
Lewis Hamilton?
Well, that, yeah. But it's reliability.
Reliability. Yeah, the durability of the car.
They don't DNF. And if they do, it's a super weird cause. So I think Mercedes is just going to be, again, they're going to pounce when they can.
Yeah.
They're going to take advantage of certain situations. I mean, them starting, when did they start? What were their starting grid here?
They were
5 and 6.
5 and 6, yeah.
And for them to finish, 3 and 4. Like,
I mean, you had a DNF.
It was a DNF and Lando dropped spots too.
Which granted, that's what happens in a race. That's racing.
And it was off the start too. He lost those 2 positions.
And Sainz too.
Yeah,
I'm not going to get off the Mercedes topic. I completely agree with you. I think Mercedes is they're just going to hang on. There's the rope. There's 3 guys on the rope. They're hanging from a ship. They got to get on the ship, and they're at the bottom. The thing's waving. Right now, and they're just going to keep holding on until finally they can climb that rope. And I think that
I'm not sure what that means, but okay.
I've just made it up. I just made it up in my head. Just think about like a big ship, like a battleship, and a terrible storm. Which is the F1 season so far.
Oh, wow.
And
Liam's getting deep.
And you have Leclerc, Verstappen, Perez, and Sainz. They're up there. They're almost on the ship. They're almost there. They're almost out of the storm. But you got George Russell and Hamilton. They're at the bottom of the rope. They're almost in the water. They're almost there. But they're hanging on. They're hanging on by a thread. It's good to see. They're going to get up there.
This sounds a lot like the plot of Titanic.
That's exactly, yeah. That is like the Titanic. Yeah, we've had 2 Titanic references in the last 3 podcasts.
Yeah, we have.
But yeah, no, it's I don't want to say like you can't put any team's future this season kind of where they're at right now. There's so much development left to be done, and you also got to think we have this style of car, this body, for until 2025 when they come with the. I mean, I don't know when they're going to come out with a new like. Chassis regulations, body regulations. I have no idea, but this is going to stay for a while. So once these teams start developing and figuring out what works for this car, what works for their car, like these cars could be the most advanced and the best cars that we've ever seen in Formula One history.
It could literally be like a switch, like flicks.
It could,
and it could just be, oh wow, like Mercedes comes back, next race in Imola.
I don't think they've got any parts. They haven't got any parts yet.
We found this one thing. We found this, I don't know, if we change a side pod like this, if we change the air induction and then something like a little bit this way, we're going to gain 5/10 or something.
Yeah,
It could be something that small
that
they just haven't found yet, that when they do find it, boom, they're going to be, fighting for pole position. They're going to be fighting in the race.
Yeah, like I was telling you I think it was on Wednesday when we did that our YouTube. Oh, by the way, we did a YouTube video of who deserves to slap who on the Formula One grid.
Yeah.
And we released that on Wednesday this week. So yeah, give it a look, guys. It's on our YouTube channel, the Breslin F1 YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave comments in the comment section for anything fun that you guys would like for us to do, anything you want us to talk about on the podcast. Yeah, so we'll get back to it.
That video will be posted at the end of the video of this one.
Yeah.
The link will be there to post.
Yes, we'll send you guys the link. But yeah, kind of getting... what were we talking about?
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to get
What
caught.
were we talking about? I just wanted to get in there.
Mercedes.
Yeah, like we were talking about...
Mercedes and like just
Mercedes
getting parts.
Getting parts, okay? Like Red Bull... This is what I was saying.
Yeah.
Red Bull, I think they had like a $2 million upgrade that's going to shed 8 kilos on their car for Imola in 2 weeks. So that in theory, I was reading, should get them 0.2 up a lap.
0.2 up?
0.2 up a lap, yeah. Imola, I believe, is April 22nd weekend.
Yeah, we skipped this week.
April 22nd, 23rd, 24th. That's your Imola in Italy. One of 2 Italian races this year.
Yep.
And then Miami after that.
Oh, is that what it jumps to?
We're going to Miami. Oh, yeah.
You're right.
That's going to be awesome. I can't wait for Miami.
Oh, it's May 6th. Imagine it was May 2-4 for us. May 2-4 Miami. That'd be so sick for us.
We have May 2. Our May 2-4 is
Spain.
Yeah, May 2-4 is on a Tuesday this year.
But
I still think we can celebrate the May 2-4 weekend. Like it's the weekend before May 2-4.
Yeah, I was confused.
That's when you do it.
It's whenever the Monday's the long weekend. Is the Monday in the Friday?
No, it's just the Monday.
So it's just the Monday.
Just the Monday's the holiday.
It's like, but it could be on a 26th. It could be on the 21st.
Yes,
it's weird.
Yeah, we don't know. Canada's a weird country.
Let's just see what it is. When is it? When is May 2-4? You go ahead.
Yeah, so I was gonna kind of dip in a little bit with Ferrari. Sainz obviously starting on the hards. He tough for him to warm the tires, clearly.
Yeah.
And it kind of like he lost 4 spots at the start of the race. You could tell he was driving a little frustrated. It's like when he's driving in Talladega Nights when he had Lucius. Ricky, you're driving like a pissed off teenager. That was exactly what Carlos Sainz was doing today. I think.
I mean, even on
frustration
on the start too, on the race start,
he dropped 4 spots.
That aerial shot from the helicopter looked ridiculous. If you look back at it and see it again,
it looked like he just didn't want to start the race.
He stalled.
Yeah,
it's like he stalled out. I thought something was wrong with his car.
Zero grip on the hard tires. That was it.
So I mean, him starting on the hards in P9, kind of a different strategy from Ferrari. I don't mind it.
I think there was only 3 cars that went on the hard tire strategy.
Alonso and K-Mag, I think, were the other ones.
Yeah, and
and Albon too.
Albon, yeah.
So we'll talk about Albon later.
Yeah.
But yeah, him starting on the hards and then not getting off the start like he did.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they had like a problem with the car, like an actual mechanical
stall.
problem.
Yeah. Kind of like what Alfa Romeo's had the past 2 races.
Yeah.
They finally got away nice actually this week, which is good. So
and him starting like back in P9 and then being almost in P12 basically by turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
He had to try and like fight back a little bit, and clearly it just didn't work out. I mean, on the very first lap of the race, he completed 1 lap, and then halfway through, he tried to make a pass on, I think it was Magnussen or one of the Haas drivers.
I'm pretty sure it was K-Mag, yeah.
It was one of the Haas drivers, and he just ran wide.
So deep.
Couldn't lock the tires up, I think. Couldn't get around the turn.
Yeah. He was on the grass.
Couldn't straighten out again, carrying too much speed and getting caught in the gravel traps.
Yeah, and he beached himself.
Which is kind of frustrating because it's like you're not
crashed. Your car's not destroyed. It's totally drivable. You just can't get out.
Which is annoying. I mean, I think he's on the radio saying, I want these guys to come out here and try and push me.
Yeah, but I don't know if they can.
I don't know if
Are they allowed?
I don't know if he meant to push him to get back into the race or just they have to push him off.
Oh, I think that he was probably thinking like push me back to get on track, but I don't know if you can touch. I don't think you can touch a car.
Maybe
if it's in contention.
Yeah, I'm not sure the rules are. I mean, it'd be kind of. I wouldn't mind that. It'd be kind of cool getting him back in the race because there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to drive.
Well,
anymore.
Actually, I remember when Ayrton Senna and Elaine Prost were fighting, right?
30 years ago.
30 years. I mean, those guys.
Very different.
Those who were those? Not the Marshalls.
Stewart. Yeah, the Marshalls.
The Marshalls. Those guys. So the Marshalls like helped him kind of get started again.
That was 30. Yeah, I think 30 years ago is a little different.
Yeah, they probably some rule changes between them.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it because like I said, there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to continue racing. Like he didn't.
No, the car. He made one mistake, right? Just ended up beached.
And again, if any other track, if this was in France in the Paris track, he would be driving like crazy. There's no gravel traps there. It's like a whole runway strip.
Have you seen the video of how fast a car slows down when it gets to those red lines at Paul Ricard?
No.
I saw this video of like some guys, I think it was Formula 2, he spun off on, I don't know what turn it was. I think it was like the sweeping turn at like the first turn 1 where you sweep and then you turn 2 is like really, really high speed corner. He came off, he lost his rear end, and the blues, like he went over the blues, and then once he hit the red, he literally like, you could just see the car like stop.
Oh, wow.
It was, I couldn't believe it.
Is it bumps on there? It's like, is it traction?
It's grit. I think it's just grit. So it like eats the shit out of your tires. So if you go off there during the race, your tires are done.
But you can still race though.
You can still race, but your tires are done. But he like, it was crazy. I couldn't believe it.
I don't mind that though. Like if you can still,
but the runoff areas, I think too, like if you have way bigger runoff areas, it doesn't like, it kind of just makes so that your mistakes are more forgiven. Like if you have runoff areas that big, it's like, I don't have to really worry about this corner. I'll just go in the runoff area. I give the guy a spot back. If you fucking make a mistake in Monaco or at Jeddah last week, you're in the wall. You're done.
Yeah.
So it's like your mistakes are more forgiven, which is, I mean, whatever. It's good to see people not dying. I mean, smoking walls, right? But at the same time, though, it kind of goes to show like who's the more skillful driver, who has, you know what I mean? Who's not going to make the mistakes.
Yeah. And obviously a gravel trap and a wall, they don't care what you did to make your mistake. They're going to eat you up whatever they can.
Yeah.
Just in this particular case, I feel bad for Sainz because he was trying to make a pass. He had the pass done. He just, his tires were cold as shit.
Obviously had the better car.
So he just couldn't slow down. He made the pass. He made the move. Good move. I mean, that's a kind of a different little passing zone, but they added the DRS there. He didn't get DRS on this passing attempt. But
what lap was it that he came on?
It was 1. He finished.
Was it lap 1?
He completed 1 lap. He completed 1 lap.
So it was lap 2.
It was lap 2. It was like halfway through lap 2.
So DRS wasn't even.
So
he should have just waited a little bit. Like I was saying, he's probably impatient. He's probably pissed off.
Oh yeah, because like you said, like
understandable. He dropped down to what, P13?
Yeah, he starts P9 and like being in that position somewhere that we talked about it yesterday in our qualifying video. It's the spot that he's not comfortable in being with Ferrari.
No.
It's the spot that he knows he should not be in. So he's like, okay, I got to make this up quick because I know the cars ahead of me are on mediums. It's going to be quicker than me off the start. I have to make up my places when I can, as fast as I can. And for K-Mag to be on hards as well, he probably saw an equal competitor with the tires. So it's like, okay, I can get ahead of him now. And that's one less person.
Yeah.
I'll worry about him later when his tires catch up to my tires. But right now, I got to focus on the medium tire drivers and get ahead of him now. And start picking up places like left and right. And I think he just, jumped the gun a little bit too soon. Again, I don't think it was a bad place to make a passing attempt. It just didn't work out properly.
I know. I completely agree
locked up.
I completely agree.
And once you get on that grass too, like it doesn't slow you down at all. He was straight. He tried to come back a little bit and make it onto that turn. But as soon as you turn sideways, your tires are just gone.
Yeah.
And then in the gravel traps, you saw him revving the rear tires and they're just digging deeper and deeper.
Well, even going on the grass too, the grass cools your tires. You have no grip when you get back on track, right?
It was just kind of a shit show for Sainz in his first 2 laps of the race. And I mean,
it's not like
that was just him, right? I mean, look at his teammate just taking off like he did.
Yeah, and it's not like this was the first lap of the race. It's not like he was coming out of the pits, already has 20 laps under his belt. He's in the groove of the track. He's 1 lap in. They're not really feeling the track. When was the last time they raced in Melbourne?
Over 2 years.
2 years. So it's, you're not used to racing there, I guess. So I think, when under the circumstances, it was probably tough for him, obviously, to gauge the braking zone. But, I mean, he gets impatient, obviously. You're frustrated, impatient, and clearly when you make when you're emotional making decisions, it's not you're not going to make the right decision half the time.
Yeah, and it was funny too that they showed the paddock back there with like the Ferrari team, and he's already in like jeans and a t-shirt, like lap 10.
He's like done. I'm fucking.
Yeah, he's already out of it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to touch on Seb. Is that what you're going to say?
No, I was going to go somewhere else, but yeah, we can talk about Seb because he had just one of the worst race weekends of all time.
He completed less laps in the entire race weekend than what the laps were for the race. He completed 47 laps.
Yeah.
The entire race weekend.
Yeah.
And the race was 58 laps. That's so heartbreaking.
And his first race of the
He would have been better off driving the scooter.
He got fined for that. Do you see that?
$5,000. Are you kidding me?
Jesus.
He probably just pulled that out of his wallet and he said, "Here, fuck you." But really gonna fine him for that? Are you serious? People loved that. People loved it. They're waving. He's got his helmet on. He's like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" I think that was great. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know, but what we think is fun and what the FIA thinks is fun are two different things. The FIA is
Fucking,
just
they're
like
fun police.
Did
you hear Sab? He's like, they're the fun police.
That's what he said too.
Yeah, he did. Like, fuck, man. It's so...
He said that and we're saying that too. I didn't even know he said that.
Yeah.
We're saying
I feel like we'd get along with Seb.
yeah, it's because of Everett.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, obviously, like, I don't know if he's ever had a race weekend like that in his career, because that was horrible.
Yeah,
it was horrible. His first weekend back too. He's missed the last two because of COVID.
I was gonna say, yeah.
And you know, I feel bad for him. I can't see him being in the sport that much longer if this team doesn't pick up their socks.
That's a good point.
I can't see him, like, what. It's not even worth it for him. I mean, yeah, I'm sure he loves driving a Formula One car. I couldn't imagine not loving to drive one, but for a guy that is as decorated as him with medals, or not with medals, with championships,
Medal of Honor,
he's wearing them. Yeah, as guys that like has as many fucking championship wins as him, four world championships. You're putting 47 laps in all race weekend in this car. That you were promised is going to be a good car this year. Even actually last year, you were promised when you came to the team that you're having a good car. Mm-hmm. I think they're rebuilding. I don't know what's going on. Are they just putting all the wrong components on the Aston Martin car? I mean, if Seb Vettel is only getting 47 laps in your car, you know that he's obviously a skillful driver. He has not lost it whatsoever. But it's just that team. I don't know what's going on with that team, man.
And with him, he has to set his expectations at a certain level too, because him leaving Ferrari, he knew he was never going to have another chance to be at a top team. I believe. Yeah. So with him going to Aston Martin, he probably wants to put his stamp on the team and maybe help them improve and become more competitive. Mm-hmm. But you can't just get there this is his second year now, but you can't just get there and expect immediate expectations to rise.
No.
It's going to be a grind a little bit, and maybe what he was being promised from Lawrence Stroll, what he was being promised from the Aston Martin team, maybe like to entice him to come to Aston Martin, maybe it's not being fulfilled. Like maybe they said, oh, we're going to have a really competitive car. We're going to have all this money invested and we're going to do all this and that. You're going to help us bring our team to the next level. So maybe it's a great sales pitch.
Yeah.
And he's probably like, yeah, that sounds great. Like, I'd love to do that. You're giving me a drive for 2021. Like, that's awesome. And then it's like he gets there and he's like, oh, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Like, and even coming off Racing Point's season in 2020, and when Seb joined him in 2021, they were a competitive team. Mm-hmm. So when he joined it, he's like, oh, well, I'm really only going to drop down 2 teams from Ferrari.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sure I can pick up the pace. I'm going to be a better driver than who's driving there now. Ocon was driving there, and
Ocon and Stroll.
And yeah, exactly. So it's like, he's like, I'm going to be better than those guys. Those guys aren't even getting the full potential out of the car. Mm-hmm. But then when he went there, obviously they finished P6, P7 last year in the drivers' champion, or the world, the constructors.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I was actually thinking about this. Could you imagine if Red Bull picked up Seb instead of Perez when they were?
That would have been nasty.
Because they were both at the end of their contracts, right? And I think what happened was Seb didn't sign with Ferrari before Red Bull picked up Perez, or after they picked up Perez. So when they were done, when they picked up Perez, Ferrari, like, probably, I think it was like a week or two later that they're like, yeah, we're not signing Vettel. He's going to be a free agent next year.
Well, Perez didn't have a drive until like the last race of the season. He still didn't know where he was going. So Red Bull still had the spot open because they knew they were bringing back Albon.
Yeah. And they knew that they were going to go with Checo for sure. Yeah. I think that's what they did. But could you imagine Vettel went back? That'd have been really cool. Last year, actually, would have been sweet. But then you got to think, you got two guys, like you got Verstappen, who's fighting for his first world championship. You have Vettel, who has 4. Like, I don't think that they would have gelled as much as Sergio and Max. Because, Sergio came into Red Bull, and like, we're really touched on Sergio this lap, but I think he deserves it 100%.
Yeah.
Sergio came into Red Bull and he's like, okay, guys, like, what's the plan? What are we doing here? He's like, I'm going to be more focused on racing for a team than to myself. If our job is to get Max a world championship this year, I'm going to help you do that 100%. I don't care where I finish. I'm going to do what I can to help us get to that point. I think if Vettel went there, Seb might have been like, no, I've been racing for Ferrari for the last 5 years. I fucking didn't get what I was promised. I want to win.
I still want to win.
I still want to win. And I would love to win my 5th world championship with a Red Bull.
That'd be really cool.
And then
imagine he goes back and just redeems himself with Red Bull.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And the Perez point, that makes sense. And he fully achieved that last year with Max and Red Bull. Again, like the last race of the season, Abu Dhabi, what he was able to pull off and hold up Hamilton the way he did, allow Max to get that victory was massive. Yeah. And that was kind of the shining moment of last season for Sergio Perez. He did get a couple race wins too, but that's what he's remembered by, I think, from 2021.
Was just helping out his teammate, being a team player.
And then this year,
team player.
And this year comes into play, and it's like
he's helping Max along. He's like putting the training wheels on for him.
But it's like last season, it's like, okay, like you said, we have this goal for Max. That's what it is, and he's fully on board.
This year, it's like himself.
I want to race now. I want to win.
I know what I can do in the car.
I'm capable of winning. I pulled off wins last year. Another year under my belt with Red Bull, learning the team and how they operate, learning the car a little bit better. And we touched on a couple of videos ago with Perez at Red Bull. It's like we said, last year was the Max show. This year is the Red Bull show, where they want their constructor championship to come back into play. Obviously, with them not having the reliability with the car this year, it's kind of like they're already 2 steps back before they get started. With the cars not performing and not finishing like they have been. So constructors, I don't want to say it's already out of the question because it's really, really early, but them being already in P3 for constructors, like, I don't know how many points are they right now back?
I'll have to look here right now. Constructor standings? I got it right here.
They're 49 points. They're already 49 points behind Ferrari and already 10 points behind Mercedes. I mean, they can make up 10 points, next race.
Yeah.
But from Ferrari showing up like they have, and obviously with Sainz going out in this race, they obviously lost points there. He didn't score any points.
Yeah.
But as long as they have Charles Leclerc, I think
Ferrari's going to have it locked
They're
up.
good. I
think
they're
okay.
Good.
They're going to be good. I mean, unless something drastic happens.
And I mean, we still have 22 races left this season.
Oh my God, it's such a long season.
Like, is it 25 races this year?
No, it's 23. We have 20,
20
races left.
20 races left this season.
Yeah. I
mean, for Leclerc to have a 34-point lead already over George Russell, which is crazy. His next competitive driver is his teammate Carlos Sainz at 33 points, Sergio Perez at 30 points, Hamilton 28, and Max having just the 25 points from the one win.
Dude,
like, what? I don't know how this is going to look in Red Bull's favor. I don't think Red Bull is going to have...
I don't know, man. I have no idea. I mean, I know we still have 20 races left. But looking at this right now, the margin between George Russell and Leclerc is 34 points. And I don't think last year there was ever a gap that big between Hamilton and Verstappen.
I think it was close. I think Crofty said something like that. It was 30 something was the biggest margin at all last season.
For last year, yeah.
And we're already at that gap 3 races into the season.
And looking at this too, like, Russell really is snuck into that.
He has.
He snuck into the second
backdoor
place.
sneak.
So and then you have Sainz, who's 4 points behind Russell, and then Perez, who's 7 points. That's all. That could all change within a race. Like, the battle at the 2, 3, 4, 5 spot is it could all change within one race. Leclerc, even if he finishes P2 next race, he's still in the lead.
Substantially.
I'm telling you, man, it could be a season like Charles Leclerc that Lewis Hamilton's had.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. And
seriously, if these guys keep going back and forth in the 2 to 5 spots, Leclerc's just going to keep walking.
Yeah. And it's like in any other sporting league in the world, they always say every race matters, every game matters. Clearly.
They do.
But if you can get ahead early in anything, that is huge.
I know.
Because then you have something to fall back on. Let's just say again, like, let's say Ferrari keeps performing this way, but race number 8, whatever that is, and race number 9, they have 2 back-to-back DNFs, but they've been consistently top 3 the last 7 races. That's fine. We have gap to spare. We have room to spare.
Exactly.
Leclerc's just pulling away. Sainz, let's say he comes up. Maybe Sainz gets a podium. Maybe Sainz gets a P1. A couple races from now, let's say. They're just keep pulling away constructors. Driver standings, Leclerc, he's pulling away a little bit more. Okay, DNF. P7. You're still 50-point gap.
Like I was going to say,
60-point gap.
It gives them more breathing room to go on with their season strategy. It gives them room where, like, oh, well, we expected to change power units by this race. Maybe we can stretch it out to this one. So then penalties later on, you might not get them.
And they actually extended that. They allowed 1 extra powertrain change, I think, or power unit change.
Well, Alonso's already went through 3.
Has he?
Yeah, he's on his 3rd one this weekend.
I think it used to be 5. Now they have 6.
Did they?
Okay. They allow 6 without having a penalty.
Good, but think about it though. It just, there's so much breathing room. Like you said, if you get ahead early, It's like, and especially in this sport, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not like, yeah, you're running a car, but your car's deteriorating every race. You know, your engine's deteriorating, your gearbox is deteriorating, your brakes, everything. That's which equals more money spent. You know, so if you have a little more breathing room, yeah, you can maybe let off a little bit, let off.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, a 2-1 lead is the hardest one to hold in sports, but if you can extend it to a 6-1, yeah, you're okay.
Yeah, that's huge. And a good point too. And then with pulling away and being able to back off a little bit, with Leclerc finishing this race 20 seconds ahead of P2 Perez.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he finished with the fastest lap of the race in his last one there.
Mm-hmm.
But the last 10 laps, let's say, he was coasting. Like, okay, watch your tires, watch the car, you know, maybe downshift a little bit more here. Don't have to go as fast on the straight here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's let the wear and tear die down a little bit on the vehicle.
Yeah.
Because he has that gap and is able to monitor the car better and preserve the car for next race.
Yep. And next race too, actually, we don't, Imola, last year, who was it? It was Hamilton won Imola, or did Max won Imola?
I'm not sure.
I think it was Max. I'm almost positive because Lewis won in Bahrain, and I think Max won Imola. But
yeah, it was Max. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be a good. Actually, I don't really remember watching a lot of races in Imola.
There hasn't been. I think last year or the year before
is when they
when they brought it back.
They brought it back. Yeah.
Yeah, because they only used to do the one race in Italy, but obviously being Monza.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with COVID and other tracks backing out,
Mm-hmm.
Imola stepped up and said, "Hey, we'll host a race." And then I think the drivers liked it, everyone liked it, so they brought it back again for last season and this season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a sprint race too.
Yep. It is. Yeah.
Sprint qualifying.
That's one of what? How many this year?
3 or 4.
I think. Well, I know that her. Here, I'll check. I'll look.
The sprint race obviously being a different style of qualifying if you're not used to it.
Mm-hmm.
So the drivers have their regular free practices, practice 1, 2, and 3, and then as far as qualifying goes, how does it work? They qualify.
So they qualify for their position in the sprint race, and then
Yeah, how does the sprint race start? How do
they start the sprint race like the race? So they do the qualifying on Friday.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Or Saturday morning,
and then they do like later on in that day.
Yeah, they'll do the sprint race on the Saturday.
Yeah. So it's like a quick qualifying session where they'll race their fastest times, and then they'll have a race basically. I think it's 20% of whatever the laps are.
Yeah, it's like last year in Silverstone it was like 17 laps or something like that.
Yeah, so it's a quick race. Yeah, it's literally a sprint. It's like a 15 to 20 lap race, depending on what track you're at.
Mm-hmm.
And however you finish in that race is how you start the actual race on Sunday.
Yes, and this year that's going to be Imola, Austria, and Brazil are going to be the sprint races.
Just 3?
3. Yeah, and they're also going to have points changed to the point scoring system. So I believe the first place gets like 9 points or something like that.
Yeah, so it's huge to get.
It's if you win the sprint race, you're winning half of a race almost.
It's bonus points. Plus, I think they do another fastest lap too for the sprint race. So yeah, points are up for grab. It's cool. I like the idea. Some people don't like it. They say it takes away from qualifying.
It's different. And I don't really like the qualifying structure that they have in the Formula One. I think that the whole traffic thing is such a problem.
It's tough.
It's so you got to gauge and you got to it doesn't make sense. You're sending everyone out on the track and you got to basically strategize who's going to be where they're going to be at on their flying lap or hot lap. It's like, what are we doing? Send fucking one guy out. Let him go. I know there's time. I know they have other series racing on that circuit that weekend. It's not only the Formula One, right? Like Formula 3, Formula 2 raced at Melbourne too. But like you're Formula One. You're the top fucking driving.
It should take precedent.
Yeah. So let them do the qualifying the way that they want to do it.
And with that too, with qualifying and having the cars on the track as many times as they are, it changes the track evolution too. So you could have drivers going out there in the Q1 session like right away, let's say, instead of time. But by the 3-minute mark of Q1, the track is heated up now that it's faster.
Yeah.
And you can gain a couple tenths. So it gets really condensed, even though you have a 17-minute Q1 session. It all comes down to the last 3 minutes.
Yeah,
when you have 20 drivers in 3 minutes trying to condense hot laps together.
Yeah, they should definitely change
while
the structure.
Spacing out and not having to deal with the dirty air. It's a whole shit show.
It is. Qualifying, process. Like even look at Sainz. Sainz got fucked.
Yeah, on the red flag with Alonso.
You know what I mean? And then think about all the guys that we were talking about in our qualifying podcast that got screwed in Q2 because of traffic.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think that what I think they should do, and I don't know why they do this, I'm sure there's a reason why, is they should have all the cars in the garage. You could send out a team. So send out your Red Bull. Red Bull fucking does their hot laps, comes in. Send out Ferrari or whatever. and then you have them all do hot laps. Yeah, you can use a tow as a strategy if you want to, right? I know it'd take more time, but I think that the structure overall of this qualifying, the way that they do it is,
or just do it in groupings. Like
do it in
every
groupings
three, like 3 teams that are at a time can go out.
Yeah, like you can't, like you send everyone out there.
Yeah.
You've got guys that are like, there's 4 cars in a row and they're going super slow around a corner because they know someone's on a hot lap. It seems more dangerous to me anyway.
Well, that goes into what happened with qualifying yesterday too with Latifi and Stroll. You know, not miscommunication. And I'm going to say it right now as a disclaimer, like being the Canadian podcast.
That was the most embarrassing.
We don't have to endorse, or we're not obliged to be fans of Latifi or Stroll.
I'm not.
Even though we're Canadian?
No.
I mean, if you're not doing good, you're not doing good. Yeah. If you're doing poop, we're not gonna.
That is the prime example of my dad bought me my seat in this car because you guys are totally incompetent to drive a Formula 1 car. Yeah, exactly.
Both guys.
Yeah. So, just coming from the Canadian's mouth, you guys fucking suck, and you guys do not belong to be in Formula 1. I could probably count on fucking one hand the drivers that should be in your seat as opposed to you being in your seat, idiots.
Yeah, no, they're
we got to touch on our F1 league, the fantasy.
Yeah,
for last week, our winner.
Snoop.
Oh, actually, that is it's my dad's my buddy's dad.
I was very confused.
Yeah, Mr. O'Donoghue.
When I was looking at the standings from last week with week 2 in Saudi Arabia, I saw that Snoop won. And I was like, okay,
Snoop Dogg. Wait a minute. Snoop Dogg's in our
Hold on a sec. Hold on a second.
We got this big?
I'm like, because I posted the one video about advertising our league on YouTube.
Yep.
It got some good traction on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, there's no fucking way Snoop Dogg saw our video and decided to join our league.
That would be hilarious.
So we did some digging. We found out, it's your buddy's dad. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the dog's name's Snoop. Yeah, it's our buddy's dad, Mr. O'Donoghue. Congratulations.
You're getting a shirt your way?
Yep, you're going to get a shirt. You have won the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix Formula 1 weekend. Congratulations. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to touch on for this week's race. It was great. We're going to be coming out with a little more content in the next weeks coming on our YouTube channel. Again, that's the Brezin F1 YouTube page. Make sure you guys hit a like and subscribe. Leave comments in the comment section. We hope you enjoy everything, guys. We'd love the input. So anything that you guys want us to talk about or touch on the podcast, or whether it's a YouTube video, let us know. And also, we're kind of starting to get some traction. We're at about 370 subscribers now.
Yeah, we're getting up there.
We gained 100 in the last week. Mm-hmm. So we know that people are listening, and we hope that you guys are enjoying everything. I wonder where everyone's from. I don't know. Is everyone, a lot of maybe North America, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, in the comment section, cool. Leave where you're from, leave your country. It'd be cool for us to get some feedback and find out where you guys are from.
It's cool. It's really cool to see that other people are listening to your stuff.
Yeah, and if you're going on the page too, and if you're going on the channel and you're going on the videos, put a like on there too.
Yeah, just like it.
I can't stress how much though the likes actually help with.
They do, because then it gives you it gives us not satisfaction, but reassurance that what we're talking about is good, positive too, right? All feedback's good, but not all feedback is what you want to hear. So, yeah, guys, we'll see you next week. Till then, cheers, and enjoy your week. Cheers.